and welcome to the second video in this little series that we're doing on Bioware custom article feature. So if you followed the first video, you will have seen we did a bit of a quick start for how to just make a very basic template and dataset, connect them together, and get articles out of it. In this next one, we're going to look at something a little bit more complex, a bit more interesting, which is building a two-dimensional example. So if you're not familiar with what this term means, just hang on a second and we'll come to it. But to get started, we will create a new template. We could go here and just create a new blank template. But given that we have this template already from the first video, we'll just click duplicate on that. And there we have it. We can go and edit this new one. And we'll just call this example template 2. And we'll notice that everything is the same after we've duplicated it. What we're going to do here to make this a bit more interesting and a bit more complex is make this two-dimensional by adding 2 variables into the title. So instead of having how to grow plants, where plant is basil, tomatoes, etc., we will add in another variable, which is country. So now we have, to kind of skip forward a little bit, for every value that we have of plant and country, we're going to get a new article out of it. And so the idea here is that we had 10 values of plant earlier. If we have 10 values of country as well, we'll get 100 different articles out of this. And this is how you really scale programmatic SEO and are able to kind of build really large, high-scale campaigns that go after lots of long-tail keywords that there isn't much content for and that are easier to rank on. So now that we've added these 2 variables here, we'll see they both appear here. So if you watched the last video, this means they'll appear on the generation screen and we have to map them to our dataset. It also means we can use these either in H2s, H3s, or in the prompt, or in any of these other sections, which will, or these other blocks, which we'll come to in the next video. But to just keep things simple for now, we'll just leave this in the article title and we'll keep everything else the same. So we can save our template. And yeah, example template 2 is there. We're going to upload a new dataset this time. So we'll call this dataset 2. And this is the Google Sheet that's in the documentation. This is tab 2. What we've essentially done is we've kind of, on the right-hand side, this is our rough working. We've got a list of list of plants, a list of countries, and then I've got this formula up here, which you can copy and paste from the sheet, which basically generates all the permutations of these 2 lists. And so, we've got, excluding the header row, 100 different values there, 100 different pairs, which represent all the combinations of these 2 variables. So what we'll do is we'll go and we'll export this as CSV. We'll go back to Bioware to the dataset creator, upload that there, and it's just in the check, and yeah, it's got 100 rows for these 2. So this all looks good. We can save that as a dataset. And then just as before, once we're ready on this template, we can click generate. And once we've named, and we select example dataset 2 that we want to connect it to this time. And these 2 template variables come up, which we can connect to our dataset. And they have essentially the same name, so it's nice and easy. And then when we're ready, generate 100 articles, which is what we expected based on the number of rows and permutations. So we can click generate, and this will send us to the product generating screen, and Bioware will go through and generate all those articles. So yeah, that's a quick example of how you build a 2, and you can kind of work out how you build a 3-dimensional title or template from this as well. In the next video, we'll start covering some more of those different blocks and how to do some more interesting, complex stuff with your datasets.